On the temple of Apollo at Delphi, Greece, there is an inscription that says, "Know thyself." Although I may not be espousing this mandate in its philosophical origin, I believe at face value it can have a wide range of meanings. Know thyself can mean know your value, know your measure, and know your ability. It can also mean know your weakness, know your quirks or idiosyncrasies, know your limitations. Self-knowledge is fundamental for preaching. Too many experienced or emerging preachers do not clearly understand themselves. They feel that it is important to produce a good manuscript through exegesis and the skill of excellent literary art, and then perform acceptably in the vocal delivery. However, let's take a look at 4 characteristics of the preacher that must never be overlooked. Number 1, the preacher's personality. Preaching to a large extent is communicating through personality. How you come across to your listeners or your audience can affect the effectiveness of your preaching. Therefore, giving attention to your social, your intellectual, and your emotional patterns or tendencies is vital. There are extensive studies that are available to show several reasons why preachers must pay attention to their personalities. Now, I'm not a psychologist or a therapist, but I can definitively state that many times a good sermon can be messed up because the preacher did not manage their personality appropriately. Therefore, at times when the sermon, even with much prayer, does not yield the effect as expected, it is not the sermon that needs adjusting, it is the personality. The notion that this is just me, this is who I am, accept me or reject me, I will not change, can be a preacher's recipe for disaster. Sometimes snappish and borderline offensive comments may draw chuckles and laughter, and some preachers interpret this response to be acceptance and then become emboldened in their constant use. However, such a practice may result in long-term detrimental negative impacts. Continuously talking about obsessions, constant displays of aggression, consistent revelations of poor motivation, ongoing manipulative behaviors, and many other negative traits are easily identified in the pulpit. That is why I am suggesting that there needs to be caution and also personality evaluation so that your sermons are not distasteful experiences, but rather they are refreshing, stimulating, and positively life-changing. Number 2, the preacher's credibility. See, trustworthiness is absolutely essential for effective preaching. Credibility tends to increase the comfort level of your audience. Credibility is affected by several things, and I want to suggest a few. Credibility is affected by competency. Your sermon must affirm or confirm trust in your abilities. Now, understand, I'm not promoting the impression of perfection, because there is no perfect sermon and there is no perfect preacher. I am promoting, however, assuring the audience that you did your conscientious groundwork in preparation. Credibility is also affected by reliability. Can your listeners trust you through previous experience? What happened the last time they listened to you? Were they disappointed or dissatisfied, or were they encouraged and refreshed? Credibility is also affected by availability. Please do not think that showing up and preaching at people is good enough. You need to give your listeners some access to you. Don't be aloof and standoffish and unapproachable. Don't always be in a rush that you can't find time to stop to talk to someone. They listen to you. The least you can do is shake their hands at the door or give them some time. Now, when I go to somewhere to preach, to speak, especially for an extended period of time, I spend a lot of time greeting people or getting to know them because I believe that will build their trust. If I can gain their trust, I believe they will be more prone to listen to me preach. And so I would suggest availability to build your credibility. But then credibility is also affected by spiritability. Yes, I know that's not a real word, but I'm coining this word to mean the people's view of you. Do they view you as an anointed person? Do they view you as a consecrated person? Do they view you as a spiritual person? Yes, they may see you as a talented person. Yes, they may see your aptitude. Yes, they may see your ability to articulate. Yes, they may see the results of your studies. But they also need to see you as a spiritual person. The sophisticated or well-learned term for this is spiritual ethos. Now, spiritual ethos is the composite or the combination of character and perception based on who you are or who you are perceived to be. Your ethos affects your pathos, and your pathos affects the reception of your logos. Number 3, the preacher's discipline. The preacher who possesses self-restraint and self-control is at a significant advantage. Without self-discipline, there is the risk of burnout or disorder. Without self-discipline, you will inevitably find yourself overwhelmed and frustrated by the responsibility of preaching. Therefore, I suggest that in your quest to preach, that you are disciplined with worship and devotion habits, disciplined with study and preparation habits, disciplined with organization and planning habits. I also suggest that great discipline and care be put into the disclosing of personal issues. Number 4, the preacher's confidence. The inherent responsibility of every preacher is to inspire and assure certainty in what you say. People always ask me if I get nervous and get stage fright. Most times when I respond, I say, I am confident as I am prepared. See, preparation leads to confidence. And when I am confident in my preparation, it is easier for me to approach the preaching moment with assurance and conviction. In the development and display of self-confidence, I suggest the following. Be assertive, but not arrogant. Be emphatic, positive, and firm. Resist any temptation to be conceited. Always remember that you are a representative of God. If you depend solely on what you learned in a homiletics class or in a seminar to grow in preaching, you will never grow. Writing a well-crafted manuscript and delivering it with sincere, captivating passion are not the only things necessary for effectiveness and broad appeal. I hope these 4 essential characteristics of the preacher's personal preparation will help you. Drop me a line and share your feedback. I'd like to know what you are thinking. Also, let me know if you have any area or topic or subject you want for me to discuss, and I will attempt to do so. And while you do so, please do not forget to like, to share, and to subscribe. May God bless you as you continue to proclaim Him through preaching.